What's up, y'all? It's Daniel Litwin, the voice of B2B here at ISC West 2025 with the Premio team. We're talking rugged edge computing in the security and surveillance industry. I'm joined by my guy, Ethan Dang here with the product marketing team at Premio. Ethan, good to see you again, man.
Good to see you too.
Thanks for taking the time. So we're doing some of these booth walkthrough deep dives where we go over one of the key Premio product suites. We talk shop on the key features, but more importantly, we connect the dots between these classics and some of the major market movers and trends and technology trends that are shaping security and surveillance today. So let's start high level. Again, we're looking at the RCO series here. Where does this fit into some of the bigger trends we're seeing in security and surveillance? Maybe it's better to start with those trends, right? What's shaping the industry today?
So first, you're going to notice that a lot of Industry 4.0 security and surveillance applications are moving away from the cloud.
Right.
Yeah. So at the edge, there's three different types of trends that you need to identify. First, it's going to be real-time performance, IoT connectivity, as well as rugged reliability. And I'm going to dive into real-time performance first. Like I said, you're moving away from the cloud, so the benefits of edge computing is that you're getting real-time performance. All of the data is being done locally, all the data is being stored locally, and that really boosts security and surveillance applications. Second, it's IoT connectivity. So all the different types of sensors, like an IoT camera, or even like a basic gauge, all needs to connect to a centralized hub, which is our industrial computer, to process all the data.
Right.
And all these different types of IoT data or IoT sensors are connected differently, RJ45, M12, etc. You really need to have that capability to meet those demands. And second is rugged reliability. You need to deploy this industrial computer at the edge. And the edge isn't like a cloud server where it's everything's nice and comfortable.
Yeah.
You're deploying it into very extreme locations, very remote locations, and mission critical applications. So a maintenance crew isn't available 24/7. It's going to be deployed in very remote locations and needs to be, it can't be touched at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So, these trends are really taking shape in the industry now. This idea of decentralizing security and surveillance, not necessarily decentralizing the oversight, but if anything, making the oversight, the central hubs, more capable of managing security and surveillance in real time across a wide, literal geographic area, or capturing a lot of different competing data points. What specific data points do you see the RCO helping capture, make sense of, and be a support layer for in this decentralized security and surveillance ecosystem?
Yeah, so with 35 years of expertise at Premio, we've identified that there are three buckets. First, the industrial edge, which Colin talked about. It's very controlled, so like an airport kiosk. It's air conditioned, but still 24/7 operability, right? And then where the RCO plays is the rugged edge. These deployments are in remote locations, like a remote oil well site, on top of mountains for wildfire detection.
So very rugged.
Yeah, extremely rugged.
Yeah.
You're not sending out a maintenance crew up the mountain to get something fixed, right? So these things need to be extremely reliable.
Right. So like you mentioned, all of Premio's product lines fit into a different bucket of the edge continuum, right? Which really just means what are the different sort of thematic use case needs that define how something like a rugged edge computing needs to be designed and built, from the ground up. So I'm curious what kind of deployments the more rugged RCO is serving in security and surveillance, right? What are those really rugged environments in security and surveillance that need something like this?
So the edge continuum, with 35 years of expertise, we've defined that there's three buckets, like you said. The rugged edge, where the RCO plays, is in extremely mission critical environments. Yeah. So you can see the RCO 3000 here really being deployed in wildfire detection on top of mountains. You're not going to send a maintenance crew up there to have any type of maintenance or diagnostics, right? And then our RCO 1000 here, you're really able to deploy a very compact industrial computer into facilities like a wastewater management facility.
Yeah.
And all of these computers need to be deployed on field, doing surveillance or any type of monitoring as well.
Right.
And for AI, like very intense multi-model AI, we have our RCO 6000 that is being deployed into different types of toll reading applications.
Oh, great.
So you're seeing a lot of license plate recognition, object detection, etc. on the RCO 6000.
So all those toll tag bills piling up, that's due to this guy.
This guy.
Ah, thank you. All right.
Or anything.
Yeah, right, exactly. All right, man, well, let's go ahead and dive into each of the different products in the RCO line. We're gonna go over some of the tech specifics and get a better understanding for the unique use cases that each one supports.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. All right, so per usual with the product line, we've got the 1000, the 3000, and the 6000. But even with the 1000, we've got some height differences there. So let's go ahead and start small. What are we looking at with the RCO 1000? What are some of its features, and how does that support these key use cases?
Sure. So in security and surveillance, form factor is a very, very important feature, right?
Right.
A lot of these different type of applications are deploying our industrial computers into NEMA cabinets, and a lot of those NEMA cabinets are very compact. So the RCO 1000 is able to meet that demand with its ultra compact footprint, low power efficiency, as well as all the different types of I/O that's required. With our RCO 1000, we're able to deploy different types of edge boost I/O, like you said.
Yeah.
For this one, you're actually able to select up to 3 different types of layers of edge boost I/O. While this one, which is a little bit smaller, you can actually select up to 2. So there are 3 different models of the RCO 1000. There's even one that has no edge boost I/O or one that has 1 layer, just depending on all the different types of deployment requirements. What's great about the RCO 1000 is that you're putting this into a lot of mission critical applications.
Right.
Like I said before, wastewater management. This is being put into a NEMA enclosure out on the field, just doing basic monitoring and surveillance, nothing too crazy, just having that real-time performance to be sent, the data to be sent to the control center.
Yeah.
And that's basically what the RCO 1000 is really great at. IoT gateway access, any type like that.
Nice.
Yep.
All right, let's jump to the 3000. Obviously a little bigger, it's going to be able to handle more, but what more does it actually offer under the hood?
So I forgot to mention this earlier, but the RCO 1000 actually supports an Intel Atom processor, which is an SoC, a system on chip.
Nice.
The limitations on the SoC is that it's only producing only like 4 quad core efficiencies.
Okay.
But with the RCO 3000, you're actually getting an Intel Core processor, which has much more higher power capabilities, multi-core with P and E cores, performance cores and efficiency cores. And what the RCO 3000 is really great at is that although it's a little bit bigger, you actually get more I/O real estate and features. With this one specifically, you're getting an edge boost I/O bracket, and you're able to deploy 4 PoE, 4 LAN, 4 M12 on there. And this is really important because a lot of applications like the wildfire detection I was talking about in a mobile surveillance trailer, they require multi-model AI.
Yeah.
And the RCO 1000 isn't able to really meet those type of requirements. With the RCO 3000, you're able to meet those requirements in a very compact form factor, provide different types of I/O that are needed, and also have legacy equipment if it's being deployed into existing legacy, form factors.
Nice. Now, tell me a little bit, while you've got that one in your hands, use case that you think would be, a great example of the 3000 at work.
Sure. So currently it's being deployed in the wildfire detection on top of mountaintops.
Yeah.
On top of that, it's even deployed in mission critical environments like oil well sites.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So like those type of deployments are in remote locations. You're not working in a centralized facility anymore. Those oil well sites need to be protected because it's high risk.
Yeah.
And the RCO 3000 is actually being put into those deployments. And I believe there's one use case where there was a winter storm and it froze all the systems, but our RCO 1000 or RCO 3000 was able to run it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it can handle the heat, it can handle the high friction, it can handle the cold. Multifaceted.
Right.
Gotta love it. All right, now for the head honcho, the big guy here, we've got our 6000. Unfortunately, it's in use, so we're not going to be picking and chucking that guy around. But tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here, as well as the use case it's powering in real time right here. I'm obviously seeing some pose detection, some real-time movement. What do we have under the hood with the 6000 that's making this possible?
Right, so I like to say that the RCO 3000 is the younger brother and this is the older brother.
Cool.
Just because it's using the same Intel Core processor, so you're getting the P and E cores as well. However, you're working with a lot larger real estate. You're able to get dual edge boost I/O, so you're able to connect up to 8 ports instead of the typical 4. On top of that, you're getting 2 hot swappable NVMe drives or SATA drives, very quickly and easily accessible compared to the RCO 3000 where it only has 1. On top of that, what's really, really unique about the RCO 6000 is that you're getting edge boost node capabilities.
Okay.
And in this flyer here, I can really show you that the edge boost nodes here, you can actually hot swap different types of nodes, whether you need NVMe storage, AI acceleration through a GPU, PCIe expansion.
Nice.
We have different types of nodes that are able to accommodate that. And a lot of applications or customers really need that type of modularity because they don't want to go through an OEM redesign.
Right.
So we're providing them with a very quick and easy configuration without having to try to work with an OEM customer that's costly and timely.
Nice. So then what does that modularity and scalability do for the RCO in terms of its flexibility for different use cases? Like, what are some of the examples of the downstream use cases that would require that kind of mix and match of features? And
So in security surveillance, storage is like the number one.
Right.
Local, you need to store and localize all that data. You don't want to expose that data to the cloud and possibly deal with cyber attacks. So the RCO 6000 actually has a node that can feature up to 8 NVMe hot swappable port or hot swappable storage devices. And it's currently being deployed in license plate recognition for tolling. Like I said before, it needs to connect all those different types of cameras on that tolling system, as well as store all that 4K resolution data on premises.
All right, man, thank you for the product deep dive here, but I can't resist a live camera feed use case. What are we seeing here off of the 6000? And what kind of use cases in security and surveillance might put this kind of technology to work?
Sure. So in this demo we have here, we're actually using our RCO 6000 to power a PoE camera, and it's able to detect and use pose estimation as well as limb estimation. So you're also counting for different types of events and counting the person. Nice. So it's detecting, it's people counting, it's event recognition, and it's just logging different types of data that might be considered a threat or just for typical traffic analytics.
Nice.
The RCO 6000 is great because right now, in this demo at least, we're using a Halo module, which is a DSA, domain-specific architecture.
Okay.
And you don't really need a GPU to run this. You can use the Halo AI module to run all of your different types of AI in a very compact footprint.
Nice.
But there are cases where maybe this one stream becomes 65, and you're going to need a GPU instead.
Right. Makes sense. Well, that modularity makes the RCO capable of adapting to, not only a multitude of different use cases, but also within one use case to be able to grow as the needs of what's being surveilled, what's being monitored, grow, right? And as the type of data captured at that source also expands, because a lot of times the modularity of these systems is downstream from, hey, there's a whole new data point we're wanting to capture where we've already deployed this computer and where we already have a camera or some kind of IoT node. So pretty cool to see how y'all are thinking ahead and making that possible with your product line.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that does it for the RCO series. Thank you again for your time. If folks want to learn more about the RCO series, where can they go online to learn more?
Yeah, I recommend our website, www.premioinc.com.
Yes.
We have plenty of videos that really deep dive into our individual product series, as well as different types of blogs and case studies that you can really look into to learn more.
Beautiful. All right, Ethan Dang, thank you so much for the time. Always a pleasure getting to chat, man,
Thank you so
and
much.
learn more about the product line. And folks, we'll be back with some more one-on-ones here at the Premio booth at ISC West 2025, where we're talking shop on how rugged edge computing is playing a critical role in laying the foundation for the future of the security and surveillance industry. It's a good time. I'm looking forward to more. Till then, I'm Daniel Litwin, the voice of B2B, and we'll catch you here at the booth.